Blessed good morning and welcome to King's Room. 5 minutes of news compared to news from Liberia and other parts of the world. Today's Monday, March 10th, 2025. I am the presenter of Notice. And students of the news this morning. Liberian Senate mandates finance minister and also the fund for the 2024 fiscal year 2022 to address the disbursement of approximately 16 million United States dollars allocated for car power in the 2024 national budget. National Elections Commission officially certificates and declares Representative Musa Hassan Bert's Citizen Movement for Change, the full-fledged political party in Liberia, says CMC has met all requirements and guidelines of the Liberian electoral body. In a way, from Liberia, U.S. Secret Service shoots suspects near White House in armed standoff. These stories, plus many more developments, including the voices of the newsmaker, the news bulletin, are all packaged. But we are taking a very short break to return with the full bulletin of the news. Thanks so much for rejoining us on the news program this morning. In an effort to restore confidence in the financial sector of the country, Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Afua said the government has disclosed that, that started settling interest on debt owed to commercial banking in the country. It has been reported that during the CDC regime, a total of US 83 million loan was borrowed from the Central Bank of Liberia to cover civil servant salaries. While speaking on the local radio Thursday, Mr. Kafam move is aimed at ensuring financial confidence under the Bwaka Kone administration. According to him, though the previous administration borrowed heavily from commercial banks, contractors, and small businesses without proper repayment, the repayment plan was promised to. He added that the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Finance, will institute measures geared towards addressing the existing financial crisis in the country. Transport Minister Salif Tala is calling on the national legislature to concur with the Draft Insurance Act to ensure the smooth implementation of the Insurance Act. Speaking recently at the opening of a 3 days validation workshop, Mr. Tala stated that the Act will ensure an effective regulatory body capable of overseeing the insurance market, foster trust and confidence in the industry. He emphasized that in order for the insurance sectors to strive and serve the needs of the people, the ministry will ensure for the sector to strengthen and regulate the framework. The transport minister reaffirmed the ministry's support to ensure the sustainability of the National Insurance Commission. A young Liberian businessman, Collie Gege, has expressed deep concern over the restriction imposed on commercial motorcyclists by the Liberian National Police. Collie said though the measure is intended to avoid street violence and accidents, it is also important to note that such a decision has increased the unemployment rate in the country. He described bag rider as one of the means through which many potential youth in the country are surviving, indicating that restricting them has hindered their only means of livelihood. The young Liberian businessman also noted that the action has created unemployment in the youthful population, something he said has the propensity to increase criminal activities in the country. He further admonished the Liberian government to revisit its decision while urging motorcyclists to avoid any form of protest and other actions that could cause violence. In a bid to rebrand the University of Liberia, UL President Dr. Lanley Mapan has concluded a day-long engagement with the student community, addressing dozens of students at the Chinese Theatre on the Defenders campus. Dr. Mapan emphasized the importance of collaboration, handling the challenges faced by the university. She urged students to always seek dialogue when presenting issues affecting them and stressed the need for constructive communications. Despite acknowledging the challenges facing the university, Dr. Mapan assured the students that the administration could work closely with them to find solutions. She also highlighted that the university's current budget is insufficient and vowed to lobby with partners for additional financial support to enhance the institutional effectiveness. Dr. Mapan called on the student body to maintain disciplines in their pursuit of education and reminded them to adhere to the guidelines outlined in the student handbook. Roman County Senator Edwin Snow has reaffirmed his position against the majority bloc in support of his colleagues from the lower house as head of the ECOWAS delegation. Recently, the majority bloc, through Representative Rachel Cohn, requested to recall Representative Muhammad Bush Mensa, Samuel Anders, and Tai Wangwei from the regional body, stating the election to the parliament was improper. Speaking on OPF on Thursday, Senator Snow asserted that the only ways parliamentarians can be recalled is when he or she has lost their seat as a lawmaker. According to him, the impasse at the lower house extended beyond the country borders does not paint a good image for the Bouaka-led administration, adding that a new delegation can be sent after the conduct of national elections. He maintained that if Liberia should grow and develop, the rule of law must be respected at all levels of the society. Three senior administrators of the Lofa County University have been suspended with immediate effect following an internal audit by the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission. During the audit, financial mismanagement at the institution was discovered. The suspended administrators include Vice President for Academic Affairs, Momolu Koza, Financial Controller Peter Tiller, Human Resource Officer B.N. Kamara. The action comes as the LACC investigates allegations of corruption and financial misappropriation linked to ghost employees and misuse of approximately 75,000 institutional funds. The university president, Dr. Isaac Podat, stated that the suspension could remain in effect until the accused individuals clear their names. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to upholding institutional integrity and enforcing a zero tolerance policy on corruption. In his first 3 months as, as president, Dr. Podat, as president of the University of Lofa, is in the 3 months suspended three faculty members. The Liberia Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church is claiming victory in the case between the UMC and the Global Methodist Church over property ownership. According to Jefferson Knight, the UMC has won the legal battle over the breakaway St. Matthew United Methodist Church in the township of Caldwell, breakaway 72nd UMC, and the Wheeler District UMC and properties. He claimed that the attempt by the Global Methodist Church, which has just about 3 months ago intend to take over properties and churches from the Liberian Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church, which has existed for more than 200 years now. Knight also called on members of the Global Methodist Church to procure and construct own churches rather than seizing properties that are owned by the United Methodist Church. In an ongoing, in, in a groundbreaking initiative to elevate Liberia telecommunication landscape, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, in partnership with the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, has launched a nationwide tower assessment tour. According to a statement released Friday, the tour, which is spearheaded by Minister Sekou Kuman, commenced in Grand Bassa County and is set to reshape the future of telecommunication across the nation. The primary goal of the assessment tour is to meticulously evaluate the state of telecommunication infrastructure throughout Liberia by identifying strengths and weaknesses in existing tower network. The initiative aims to enhance the quality and accessibility of telecommunication services, particularly in underdeserved communities where connectivity is crucial for economic growth and social inclusion. Mr. Kuma highlighted the importance of the endeavor, stating clear commitment in serving or striving to ensure that every Liberian has access to reliable and efficient telecommunication services that will illuminate the challenge phase and provide a roadmap for enhancing connectivities nationwide. Joining Minister Krumah on the tour are Patrick Honda, Acting Commissioner for Consumer Public Affairs, Universal Access, and Commissioner Clarence Massaway, that Massacre shared of technology in engaging with local stakeholders, including community leaders and service providers, to gather invaluable feedback and discuss the unique telecommunication needs of each area. The, the insight gained from this discussion will play a crucial role in shaping future policies, initiatives aimed at fostering a robust telecommunication environment in Liberia. In a commitment to transparency and collaboration, the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunication and the LTA view the nationwide tour as a testament to their dedication to improving the telecommunication landscape, which will continue across various counties, with the ultimate objective of creating a more connected and technological advance in Liberia. The Liberian Senate has called on Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gafuan to submit the 2024 fiscal overturn report to clarify whether the $6 million United States dollars allocated for car power in the 2024 national budget was disbursed. According to a release from the Liberian Senate Friday, the decision is aimed at establishing facts about the appropriation the morning following alleged reports of financial malpractices. This followed Minister Gafan's recent appearance before the Congress body to provide clarity on the appropriated amount in the 2024 national budget for key power. Meanwhile, during his appearance, the Liberian Finance Minister informed members of the Liberian Senate that the government of Liberia did not spend any money on key power as the facility was not used, contrary to media reports. He, however, noted that the General Auditing Commission is conducting an audit on funds appropriated to car power and assured the Senate that the GSC audit report will be submitted to the legislature through a joint public account committee. Former Superintendent of Nima County, Edith Ngawere, has expressed total dis- disappointment in Vice President Jeremiah Combs for breaching of confidentiality during a meeting with him. Addressing reporters in Nima and Ngawere, the senatorial aspirant in Nima County senatorial by-election said stringent security measures are required of the Liberian Vice Presidency. According to her, a courtesy meeting with the Vice President, her image was wrongfully used by some individual who illegally took a photo. She further noted that although she had informed the Vice President about the illegal taking of her photo, the Vice President is yet to issue the investigation he promised. Madam also clarified that her meeting with VP Kuhn meant to inform him as a senior official of government in Nima County about her intention to contest the upcoming senatorial by-election and not to seek his support for a bid. The CDC Council of Patriots has expressed deep concern over what it described as rampant corruption and governance failure by United Party-led government. The group, through, the group, though not surprised, viewed the latest Afro-barometer report as further evidence of systemic decline of Joseph Braga and Vice President Jeremiah K. Cohen. A press release issued by CDC COP National Executive Council said the latest Afrobarometer reports indicate evidence of systemic decline in the government of Liberia. The report published by Afrobarometer highlights widespread corruption within the Liberian National Police, ranking it as the most corrupt police force in Africa. According to the CDC Council of Patriots, the report is damning indictment of the Barker administration institutional integrity, ability to uphold the rule of law. Afrobarometer survey indicates that about 36% of respondents across Africa reported being asked to pay a bribe, offer a gift, or provide favors in exchange for police assistance. The Pan-African Research Organization report said Liberia is staggering. 78% of respondents through admittance to experiencing police extortion at the highest rate on the continent, surpassing Nigeria 75%, Sierra Leone, and Uganda. The CDC COP further criticized Inspector General Gregory Colborn's leadership, accusing the Liberian National Police instigating brutality, lawlessness, and extrajudicial killing. The council warned that the rising corruption within the law enforcement threatens Liberia's fragile democracy, undermines public trust, and damages the country's global reputation. The group called for urgent reform within the Liberian National Police and broader government institutions, emphasizing the need for accountability, transparency, and the restoration of public confidence in the national governance. A religious organization known as the Grassroots Diaspora Religious Community expressed support for Executive Order 143. Last week, President Joseph Boakai signed Executive Order 143, which mandates the Environmental Protection Agency and other lands ministries and agencies to use available resources for the protection of Liberia beachfront waterways and wetlands. Addressing the press shortly after a meeting of members from the Islamic and Christian religion, the chairman of the group, Reverend George Zobat, said the grassroots diaspora community is set to mobilize its members to work with the EBA and other partners. According to him, his organization will also mobilize several disadvantaged youth in District 17, Mossorata County, in order to assist in making the Executive Order 143 a reality. And away from Liberia, U.S. Secret Service agents shot an armed man near the White House in the early hours of Sunday, according to an agency spokesperson. The man, who was hospitalized, is reported to be in an unknown condition, though no injuries were sustained by the Secret Service agents. The incident occurred while U.S. President Donald Trump was spending the weekend at his Mar-a-Lagos residence in Florida. The man has reportedly been flagged by local police as a suicidal individual traveling from Indiana to Washington, D.C. around midnight. Agents located his parked vehicles near 17th and F Street, close to the White House. When agents approached, the man was said to brandished a firearm, leading to an armed confrontation during which shots were fired by Secret Service personnel. Washington police are now investigating the incident. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's News Broom. Indeed, if you are just joining us, it's a reminder that you're in tune to King's News Broom, 45 minutes of the most compared news for Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is Monday, March 10th, 2025. Yes, to stop in the news this morning. Liberian Senate mandates Finance Minister Augustine Kafuan to submit 2024 fiscal year overturn report to address the disbursement of a questionable 6 million United States dollar allocated for car power in the 2024 national budget. National Elections Commission officially certificates and declares Representative Musa Hassan Belete Citizen Movement for Change, a full-fledged political party in Liberia, says CMC has met all requirements and guidelines of the Liberian electoral body. In a way for Liberia, U.S. Secret Service shoot suspects near White House in an armed standoff. We are taking another break to return, this time with the bulletin of the news. Thanks so much for joining us on the news program this morning. Today's development the Liberia Annual Conference. United Methodist Church is claiming victory. The case between the UNC, River Methodist Church, and the property ownership. Going to Jefferson Heights, UNC has won the legal battle with the breakaway Zimbabwe UNC in the township Cardwell. Breakaway 72nd UNC, and Real District UNC in properties.
The whole scam has been brought on the church by these global Methodist people. It beats our imagination of a church that was just formed in February. We want to claim the properties of a church that have been existing for almost 200 years. So it beats our imagination, and we want to condemn every action on the part of the global Methodist people for claiming United Methodist property, which don't belong to them. All of those properties don't belong to them, and they are just fighting a losing battle. I can inform you very vividly that within the last 1 week and a half, the United Methodist Church has won about 3 to 4 different cases regarding the same claim and counterclaim of our properties. Just in Matthew United Methodist Church in Kawa won our case, and the court told the global Methodist people to vacate the premises of the church. The same thing happened at some the second United Methodist Church on last Saturday. And the judge at the Kingsway City Court also ruled that that property belongs to the United Methodist Church, and all global Methodist church people, especially Pastor Kenneth Jackson, to vacate the premises, including Wheeler, the Wheeler District Conference of the United Methodist Church that comprises of over 40 churches with hospitals, with schools, with and churches all over the place, a mission station. The judge in the Wheeler district area in Wheeler Township ruled just yesterday that the church and the mission station, the hospital, all the different facilities, I don't know how many acres of land, over I think 20 to 40 acres of land belong to the United Methodist Church. So we feel that these guys are just fighting a losing battle, and they are the reason, the cause behind all the violence that is in our country right now regarding the United Methodist Church with the claims and counter claims about gay and lesbianism and what have you. It's sad to see pastors, people who claim to be pastors, to be involved in these kinds of chicanery. It's disheartening. It is very, very disheartening. Last Sunday, while people were worshiping, United Methodist were worshiping in the Dwazon area, these guys brought talks. They paid this about the young people. They were bringing them a motorbike. And while over 300 United Methodists were gathered at the Judicature village because the police had instructed that nobody should enter the church because 30 members of the Global Methodist people were there claiming they own the church. And you have over 300 United Methodists gathered. So the police said until the court can rule, nobody is worshiping in that building. We went into the Judicature village at the multi-purpose building while worshiping. These guys brought talks, criminals, including these abandoned young people, paid them, and they were throwing stones in the village fence where we were worshiping, on top of the church building, disturbing, terrorizing peaceful worshipers. Are these people real Christians? Those are some of the questions. If you want to evangelize, if you want to own churches, go evangelize. Bring your own member, buy up land and build your churches.
This Jefferson Knight, they're speaking. Roman County Senator Edwin Snow has reaffirmed his position against the majority bloc in support of his colleagues from the lower house as head of ECOWAS delegation. Speaking on OKFM, Senator Snow asserted that the only way parliamentarian can be recalled is when he or she has lost their seat as a lawmaker.
It's unfortunate. I'm a Liberian. There's nothing good for me. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make the country look good. But it's quite unfortunate that we've not been able to break bread together and resolve the impasse at the House of Representatives that's now extending beyond our borders. ECOWAS has a protocol with Liberia, a member state of ECOWAS. These are members of the House of Representatives. The only time you can move them from there is that when they are no longer member of the House of Representatives or they turn you or the legislature for now in ECOWAS we have the sixth legislature. If the sixth legislature expired and go into a new legislature, you will now send a new delegation. So I don't think we should do that because it will make no impact, on ECOWAS. They will still recognize us. And the Rolling Town. When Rolling Town was accused of murder, he and Charles Benny when they had that case, and Rolling Town was imprisoned for over a year. The Senate wrote ECOWAS to recall Rolling Town that he killed somebody, he was in prison, he was going through trial, and they wanted to replace him. ECOWAS responded and told them, no, as long as Rolling Town is still a senator, he's not been convicted and ejected from the Senate, they could not change him. This is not unique to Liberia. I don't want people thinking, oh, it's Snow using his influence. I don't have a side to start with. I support the rule of law. When the majority black, whenever they have 49 representatives to move the speaker, they'll move the speaker. That's what the law says. If the speaker resigns, he resigns, then he's no longer speaker. Anything other than that, Clarence, if you think that because the ruling party or the executive is supporting an action, so all should cave into it, even though it's wrong, I wouldn't do it. It's sorry, but I wouldn't do it. So I don't have a side. My side is a rule of law, and that's where I stand. So having said that, ECOWAS went to Liberia, led by the Speaker of the Parliament. That delegation was, if you listen to my presentation in the ECOWAS on the floor of plenary, I made it clear that when the Speaker went to Liberia, I had nothing to do with it, even though I was accused back home. Everyone said I was the one who influenced ECOWAS to go to Liberia. I sent the delegation, I did this. I wish I was that powerful in ECOWAS. The power the people gave me Liberia, I wish I was that powerful. I'm only supporting the rule of law. In addition to that, Clarence, I'm the head of the delegation.
He's Broom County Senator Edwin Levinson that's speaking on OKFM. In a bid to rebrand the University of Liberia, UL President Dr. Lynn Mapayan has concluded a day-long engagement with the student community. She urged students to always seek dialogue when presenting issues affecting them and stressed the need for constructive communication. Yet now, here's the UL President.
Those of you who decided to come today, I thank you greatly because this is the beginning of a relationship that I hope to have for the duration of my time here. I want to have a genuine relationship with the students of this university. I don't intend to sit in my office and never see you. I intend to meet with you regularly, and it's my intention that we will always be in dialogue about the affairs of the university. And from my perspective, human nature is fundamentally good, but we can be distracted from our fundamental goodness. The purpose of a higher education institution like the University of Liberia is to serve our true identity, to help us grow and learn, to become all that we can be, to be the highest and best version of ourselves. And my plan and my highest aspiration as the president of the University of Liberia is to make the university a place where that really happens. So I wanted to say that to you as my very first statement to you. My own values as the prayer that I shared reflect our peace, unity, love, beauty, order, and discipline. We need to be organized, but we need to be organized in a way that allows us to achieve peace and unity. And all of our actions need to be infused with love. The true revolutionary is guided by great feelings of love. I am a true revolutionary, and I am guided by great feelings of love. I love you. Something else I will tell you about myself. Even though I'm a president, my spirit is the spirit of a mother, right? The spirit of the mother is she loves her children, but she also disciplines her children, right? And you're not my children, you're all grown up people. But I still bring that motherly spirit. The spirit is I love you, but if you cross the line, I have to bring discipline to get everyone returning to their highest and best self. All right. So I want you to understand that some of the things we're going to talk about today fall on the love side, and some of the things we're going to talk about today fall on the discipline side, but they go hand in hand. I'm not a person who believes that just letting people protest and protest is cool. We have to work together. We have to all be contributing. And we also have to be in dialogue. This isn't a relationship where I'm a person who believes in disciplining people for two reasons. One, so that they will get back on the right track, and two, so that we can protect and preserve the goodness of our institution, so that we can keep doing our job and help everyone become the highest version of themselves. So, yeah, thank you. I'm saying that this university is a fixed problem. And I know that the problems that we face at this university are many, are complex, complicated, hard, and very, very frustrating.
She's UL President Dr. Lena Mapaya there speaking. If you're just joining us, it's a reminder you are in tune to King's News Broom. 45 minutes of the most compelling news from Liberia and other parts of the world. Stories topping the news this morning. The Liberian Senate mandates Finance Minister Augustine Gaffwan to submit 2024 fiscal year overturn report to address the disbursement of a questionable $6 million allocated for car power in the 2024 national budget. The National Elections Commission officially certificates and declares Representative Musa Hassan Bedete Citizens Movement for Change a full-fledged political party in Liberia. Says CMC has met all requirements and guidelines of the Liberian electoral body. And away from Liberia, U.S. Secret Service shoot suspects near the White House in an armed standoff. We are taking another break to return for more development on the news program. Thanks so much for rejoining us on the news program this morning. Today's development, a young Liberian businessman, Collie Gege, has expressed deep concern over the restriction imposed on commercial motorcyclists by the Liberia National Police. He described bag rider as one of the means through which many potential youth in the country are surviving, indicating that restricting them has hindered their own means of livelihood.
The current ban placed on motorcyclists to ply Main Street in Monrovia is concerning, though it is a clear truth that such security measure is intended to further avoid street violence caused by motorcyclists. But it is important to note that such a decision has increased the unemployment rate in the nation capital, Monrovia. The increase in the unemployment rate, particularly with the youthful population, has the ability to increase criminal activities. I think such restrictions can be revisited with a time limit on their movement. However, it's important that motorcyclists stay peaceful in their engagement with relevant authorities. Though the recent protest was violence-free, I'm urging you to disengage from protests and all action that could cause violence and undermine the country's peace and security. Always tell Liberia first, Liberia last, and Liberia forever, because Liberia is the only country, our common patrimony, that we can enjoy than any other African state. I thank you.
He's a young Liberian businessman, Collie Gege, they're speaking to our reporter, Stephen Compton. In an effort to restore confidence in the financial sector of the country, Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gaffwan said the government has disclosed that startling interest on debt owned to commercial banks in the country. Meanwhile, speaking on the local radio Thursday, Minister Gaffwan moved his aim at ensuring financial confidence under the Braga Cone administration. Here now is Minister Gaffwan.
The debt stock, meaning all external and domestic, is I think $2.58 billion. domestic debt is above $1 billion United States dollars. So the domestic debt is, I think, 1.1 or 1.2. I will get the exact figure. Above $1 billion United States dollars. So Liberian government owes a lot. One of the realities I faced when I became Minister of Finance was distrust in government. Government had taken loans over time from even the commercial banks to service government activity. Government had contracted services from road contractors and others, even small businesses. Government would routinely not pay, and everything would just be dumped to domestic debt. And that this is what we are tackling. The commercial banks, I told them that it's not going to be a snap of the finger, to solve the problem, because the burden is even bigger than our budget. But I can tell you, we will start on a credible, predictable path. And so we started to pay their interest. They were surprised. They are now seeing a more credible government dealing with the debt situation. What we promise, we don't promise much, but what we promise we do. It is that credibility that is helping us. At one point, vendors, contractors, once you say government contract, they will run away because they didn't trust the government will pay. Now that is reversing. Confidence is coming.
His Finance Minister Augustine Gafuanda speaking. Transport Minister Salif Tyler is calling on the National Legislature to concur with the Draft Insurance Act to ensure the smooth implementation of the Insurance Act. He emphasized that in order for the insurance sectors to thrive and serve the needs of the people, the ministry will ensure for the sector to be strengthened and regulate the framework. The Transport Minister reaffirmed the ministry's support to ensure the sustainability of the National Insurance Commission.
I am honored to be here today at the validation of the Draft Insurance Act, and I want to emphasize the importance of this moment for Liberia's insurance industry. I wish to inform you that the Ministry of Transport also have shared oversight over certain aspects of the sector, and we recognize the crucial role that a unified, regulated insurance industry plays in our economy today. Over the last years, we have been equally concerned about the challenges facing the sector, including the issues of regulatory oversight in the market. We understand that for the insurance industry to thrive and fully serve the needs of our citizens, we just must strengthen our regulatory framework. So today's validation section is an important step forward, very important, and it will provide the much needed clarity, coordination, and structure that we need, but also it will ensure an effective regulatory body capable of overseeing the insurance market, thus fostering trust and confidence in the industry.
He is Transport Minister Salif Raf Talada speaking during a 3-day validation workshop held by the Ministry of Transport. Well, on that note, this is how I like to draw the curtains on this early morning edition of King's News Broom. But before I take a leave of you, here are stories we closely carry. Liberian Senate's mandates Finance Minister Augustine Gafuanda to submit 2024 fiscal year overturn reports to address the disbursement of questionable $6 million USD allocated for car power in the 2024 national budget. National Elections Commission officially certificates and declares Representative Musa Hassan Bedete Citizens Movement for Change a full-fledged political party in Liberia, says CMC has met all requirements and guidelines of the Liberian electoral body. And away from Liberia, U.S. Secret Service shot suspect near the White House in an armed standoff. Many thanks to all of our reporters, contributors, and correspondents who helped in making this early morning edition of King's News a success. On behalf of the entire news team here at Royal Multimedia Business Group, my name is Otis Sankan, our presenter. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Good morning.